T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
She got some prizes out. They're going to be raffling out prizes. And so I need to make sure y'all have those green tickets out. Selena, can you get the box from Africa? I got our own tickets in. And throughout the sessions, the panel discussion, I'm going to be raffling out some prizes so they kept. So I'm going to let them call the numbers out and the names. Throughout the presentation, if you have questions, I need you to write them down. We're going to have a 15-minute Q&A with them. So that you can be able to ask questions on what you read from their bio or what they say in this panel discussion. So we can get the tools and the information we need to be successful as entrepreneurs. And I know that there's a lot of women in this room, and I just want to shout kudos out to all you ladies who are doing what you do, working 9 to 5, being a mom, holding it down, and still have a passion in the business. So I want to tell each of you, thank you for all that you do. Then our next guest is, I call her the Pixie Glass Queen. Because I don't want to mess her name up, so I call her Queen Pixie. But Miss Pixie, we went in a couple of circles at the chamber, a couple of women organizations. She's a phenomenal woman, and she does amazing things with glass. By the way, this vase that's sitting on the table up front, this is one of the products that she does with glass. And now she's taking her prints that she has published, and she's putting them on clothes. So those of you that's very creative and want to think outside the box, Miss Pixie is your lady to help you with that. I've seen her do some amazing things. And last but not least, our music queen of local, international, and United States, Miss Akita Yawanda McDaniel. She was recently at the Jazz Festival. I heard you turned it out. Somebody let me listen. I couldn't get there. So we're going to learn about music, art, and voice. And celebrating women founders. So let's give it up for our panel guests. Oh, come on. Now, y'all know y'all was up in your yeah. So we're gonna start with each of the ladies to tell their stories, where they their background, and then we're gonna move into some questions on how they control the command and create their success. Give us some nuggets where they see the industry is going in our community, and we're gonna have fun. So don't be nervous. Have fun. We don't want to be. We're not in college. We ain't in no classroom. Trust me. No, I am not boring. So we're gonna have fun. So we're gonna start with Dr. Vanessa to kick us off with her story. Let me know if y'all can't hear. Okay.
I do have a soft voice, but I am Dr. Vanessa. I am the Empowerment Doctor. I'm the founder of Empower Creative Studios. It's a DIY painting mobile business. I do workshop facilitation and local creation. So I started this business because I wanted to expose other people's awesomeness. and empower their voices. We all have a voice, and we haven't lost our voice. We just need it empowered. Sometimes we have to wake it up. And for me, I thought I lost my voice when I was a young child, and I was searching for that. But through creativity, through arts and crafts, I was able to express myself in another way that encouraged me and empowered me and gave me confidence to speak. So I used to stutter. I still do every now and then. I used to stutter. I used to be afraid of the public. And creativity and arts and crafts helped me to empower myself so I can therefore empower others.
Awesome. Yes, come on, Miss Queen.
Hi, I'm Pixie Larissa. I'm a native of Jacksonville, and I started my entrepreneurship when I was 19 and I had a catering business. And I found out that was nights, holidays, and weekends, so I quickly nixed that one. Then I thought it would be prudent to learn how to run a business. So I worked for other companies, and I got a massage when I was 26. And at that point, it changed my life. And I knew that massage therapy was going to be where I was going to go. And 30 years later, I have retired from that. But in the interim, I love therapy of all kinds. And I started exploring color as a therapeutic process and absolutely fell in love with it. And the meditative process too, that it presents itself for me. So that's how Pixie Glass was born. It never was to be a business. I didn't even think I was going to do anything more with it than just give everything away. Here I am now 17 years later, and 3 years ago we started putting the designs on clothing. So I feel really blessed that I have 3 things that have given me joy and still do, and I'm here to share what I can with you to hopefully find your passion and my why. And if you haven't watched Simon Sinek on YouTube, check out his why, because I discovered that color for me is the ultimate self-expression of happiness. So be very, very, if you ever see me in any monotone colors.
So I would like to say this. The greatest of us is no better than the least of us if we can lift our fellow man. He or she ain't heavy, okay? So that's what one of my mantras is, and I make that quote up because as we grow and as we go along in this world, I truly believe that God has blessed each one of us with a blueprint, right? But it's up for us to find that blueprint to show the world our landscape. And within that is our talents that we were birthed with, but it's something that has to awaken that in us to make us unique, and in order to express that, to make our imprint on the world. So that's my purpose. So I have various talents, but in all of them, I feel like one of my purpose is really to ignite, engage, and help people discover their passion and their purpose. But I do it by showcasing mine. And if I can showcase mine by encouraging someone else to do theirs, then my purpose has been fulfilled. So an example, as I sing, I feel like my purpose in singing, I say I'm a soul singer because I sing from my soul to someone else's soul, hoping to lift up their vibrational energy to God. Whether it's in jazz, soul, R&B, inspirational, I try to sing to make others feel good and euphoric, hoping that one day it will, or at that moment, it will just bring them out and make them feel a certain way, and they'll forget about everything that they did that day, all of the stress they went through. I even had one person that said, I thought about committing suicide today, and listening to you made me feel like I want to keep going. That, for me, that particular day was purposeful. So as I walk and as I explore all of my talents, it is my purpose to help others develop theirs.
That's good. Hold on to that mic. Let's give it up for Mr. Kid. That's good. That's good. Now, you said something that you use your music to inspire others to make sure that, you know, they leave away with something. And in doing so, what type of mindset, in other words, your control, what controls do you have or have to have in order to deliver 100% every time? Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, we can't deliver 100%. But yet we push through, but when we push through, sometimes we make mistakes. So how do you control with the mindset piece?
I think, you know, for everyone, as she was saying, if you know your why, then you do your why with intent. So when you, whatever it is you're doing, you just think about what your why is. Is your why to be inspirational, help somebody? Is your why something that is financial gain so that you can send your kids to college? Is your why to have some type of monetary gain to save for retirement? Is your why to make an imprint uniquely in the world because you see a void in something? What is your why? So as we understand our why, then we gain more control of ourselves so that we can control the situation. So as it relates to music, when I write, say for instance, when I write, I love singing about love, right? So I love singing about people in love, the love of what I'm doing or what somebody else is doing. Just any song just about love. We don't have to even say love in it, just the melodies. You know, music is the elixir to my soul, okay? Just know that off the top. And so, so when I write, I'm writing about things that are feeling some type of love, or I may be talking about something that is a personal story that I have come through. So somebody else can hear those lyrics and then they're inspired to come through that situation themselves. Or I'm telling a story about somebody else's story that they've come through or that they were challenged by, now they're on the other side of it. So it's something about love. So as you control the dynamics of your why and you know your why, then you can pretty much control where it's going and how it's affecting people.
That's good. All right, what's your thoughts on it? What control mechanisms you require even with your art? Where, you know, how did you know you was gonna lean toward doing art on glass and on clothes? You know, you had to have some type of discipline. What was your control?
I started meditating when I was when I went to massage school because I grew up angry. I lost my dad when I was 7, you know, sudden death and a lot of childhood crap. You know, we all have something, right? And I knew that if I could learn how to meditate, that I could get in touch with the part of me that was the unhappy part of me. And there was no way I could do massage on people and touch people if I was angry inside. It just didn't compute. And for me, my prayer work and my meditation, I start every day after I get up and feed the cats. First thing I do is get on the floor, do my meditation and stretch. Because it's a time for me to what am I grateful for? I mean, I'm grateful that I woke up, first of all. But the small things that sometimes can be overlooked for gratitude. I'm grateful for the rolls I have in my belly because that means I have a lot of food to eat. And for the wrinkles, right? And for the wrinkles around my eyes because that means I smile and I laugh a lot. And to stay in touch with who I am and to make sure that I want to bring out the creativity in others. We're all creative. Whatever it looks like, however it is, everyone on the planet has a creative spirit. And to acknowledge that and just give it voice and to embrace it and not apologize for it, not be afraid of it, and just say, this is what I'm going to do. And I've had people, I've taken my art places and you know, one gallery said, oh, it's so juvenile. And I said, thank you. And I went in the car and I cried for like 15 minutes. But then I realized that it's a subjective, right? It's what their thoughts are. It doesn't mean that that's what it is always. And so not to take it personally because you know, her cat could have died or, you know, her husband could have left her. I don't know where she was in that day. And I'm going to keep that in the forefront of my mind is that when I'm dealing with another entrepreneur or a customer or a client or a friend is what are they carrying that I can't see?
Dr. Vanessa, and voice, because voice is empowerment. Sometimes I have have to catch myself when you're tone, when you're coming across. Even though we got a lot on our plate, we have a lot on our mind, but if we don't be careful with our tone, it can come across to offend, and that's never your intention to do so. So with boys, how can we control that as entrepreneurs and still portray that we yet still got it together, even though we're dealing with emotional things at the same time?
Well, I am certified emotional intelligence, and for me, that's how I control my voice.
What's emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize your own emotions.
She needs to get a little closer.
Recognize the emotions of somebody else and get to be flexible and adapt in any given situation. Being self-aware, having self-management, motivation, social skills, and empathy. That's what emotional intelligence is. And as far as emotional intelligence, you have to embrace your truth. And to me, that's the beginning of maintaining your voice, controlling your voice. It is embracing your own truth, not somebody else's. I've had so many people try to tell me who I was, who I should be, and it stifled me. It stifled me, and I wouldn't speak for a long time. I was scared to speak because I got so sick and tired of people telling me who I was supposed to be. But you have a unique voice. You have something to give to this world. And once you embrace that truth for yourself, accept yourself for who you are, you're able to allow somebody else freedom and permission to do that for themselves.
So, in expressing your voice, I noticed you started a podcast. You've been doing a lot of things, not too many webinars, but you've been really pushing the podcast. So, is the podcast that powerful voice mechanism that you're using?
Yes, it is. It's Empowering Thoughts by Dr. Vanessa. I ask questions that make you think. Because I ask these questions to myself, and I think there's somebody out there that might be, wondering about the same questions. So I just kind of share my voice through that medium. There would have been a lot of times where I've tried to go to other people and promote myself to other people, but they don't have the same vision as I do. I have to totally embrace my own passion and not allow someone else to control what I decide to do for myself. So with all of this technology, I'm like, I don't have to go to somebody's table. I can create a table for myself and sit and have a nice big, 7-course meal. And that's what I decided to do. And if people want to listen to it, fine. If they don't want to listen to it, fine. But I'm doing what God has called me to do. And so by me doing that, I hope that I'm empowering others to do what God's called for them to do. And that's what my whole business is all about. Exposing people's awesomeness. Because God has all tagged us. I call it tag, talents, abilities, and gifts. He's tagged gifts and special abilities to do everything that we're called to do. He put us here for a purpose. You have a purpose. If you follow your passion, you'll find your purpose. Society always wants to tell us, find this, find that, but you don't really know what it is because it's something that you really, really love to do. You can do it with your eyes closed. You have people coming to you, help me with this, help with that. It's natural. It naturally happens. You already know what it is. Sometimes you just need somebody to come along and say, yeah, don't give up.
I like, okay, we got a nugget, y'all. Create your own table. Create your own, I hope y'all write this down. Create your own table. Well, what does that look like? Sometimes in entrepreneurship, we have to, in control, and we got to know how to pivot. When the people you will trust and depend on and done asked that they committed that they was going to come through and do something for you, that voice is important. Don't think, leading up to this event, I had got disappointments. I did, but I had to make a choice, like Akia said, the mindset, like Ms. Dixie said, you got to decide what matters most. So I had to create my own table. So we got to know how to pivot. That's the other thing. When stuff don't work the way we plan, you got to pivot and go, okay, what's next? So with that being controlled, thank you for the voice, the control component, because both of you had something very valuable to say, and it's very beneficial. So now we're going to talk about how you command. We're going to start with Dr. Vanessa, because command can come through vocal. Command can come through art, where you demonstrate it, And command can also come through music, like Lakia said, how she is a very soulful person. So how do you command once you got the control down pat and you know what your why is? Now how do you command?
Show up.
How do you do that though?
You show up. You're present. You're present. You don't have to say anything to have presence. You can walk in a room and the atmosphere changes. Just because of who you are, you have that confidence inside of you. You know, you can change the atmosphere. You can go into a negative atmosphere and change it just by who you are, and not allowing the outside to get inside of you.
So that means you can't stand the cone and stick on your drink. You can't stand the cone and eat a little appetizer. But you got confidence meaning. So what does confidence look like to you when you walk in the room? I've seen a couple of hits on social media you've been at, and I was like, my mouth dropped because I never would have thought she would have did that. So give us an example what confidence look like when you command in the room, Dr. Nelson.
Confidence was like to me that I am told around me. I know who I am. I know whose I am. And I don't have to compete with nobody. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have any competition because I am the only Vanessa in this world. And that's the only person I am competing. I'm competing with the Vanessa I was yesterday. And every day I'm evolving, every day I'm learning. And I know I have something valuable to offer, just like everybody else has something valuable to offer. And when I'm able to truly embrace myself, embrace my truth, and be confident and walking in my own shoes, I give people permission to do the same.
I like that. So, Miss Pixie, how do you command in your walk?
It's about commitment for me. The only way that I couldn't do it part-time, right? I mean, and what did full-time look like for me? So I chose 2 days a week, Monday, Friday, to be my paint days. And my husband and I sat down, it was over a 4th of July weekend, and we said, this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna have our budget, we worked everything out. Well, 2 days later, he fell off a ladder and broke his leg. So multiple surgeries, kidney stone, it was just horrible, a whole year.
Sounds like I was.
Needless to say, I did not get my paint days. They did not show up. And when a year later, we revisited and I did it, I was so committed because I knew that how easily it could be taken away. And I do believe that my Howard gave me that lesson and said, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it with your heart and your soul every minute that you say you're gonna be there. And that's what I did. Called for lunch, no, sorry, paint day. You know, and I'd start at 9:30 in the morning or 10, I'd paint till 6 or 7 at night. Just commit. And like Vanessa said, don't worry about competing with somebody else because whatever you create, whatever you bring, it's gonna be beautiful because it's yours. And you own it. And you own it in a way that nobody else ever can. So, commit.
Awesome. All right, Akia, how do you command in music? You want to know how you command? I know you talked about your writing, you put your words together, you like talking about love, but all of us go through heartaches and stuff. But how can you still command and express that love, even in your hurt? Let's keep it real. In your hurt, because a lot of us walk around hurt. You know, we may not put it on the outside, or show it on the outside, but on the inside, you hurt. So how do you command and control it and still be successful?
Truth. You gotta be true to yourself first before you can be true to anybody else, right? And you gotta demand truth from others. Now, everybody's not truthful with you, but I agree with confidence. But a lot of times, people can't command because of fear. And fear can be presented in 2 different ways. Some people are fear, that type of fear. But some people are fearful, and it's not that they're incompetent, it's really because they're greater beyond measure. They're scared because they're so scared to go out and show the world their greatness of who they are. They're scared beyond measure because they're great. And so it's about stepping out of fear, owning what you do, owning who you are, being truthful with self, You're your only competition. You know, you're not competing against anybody, and look, take it from me. If there is somebody out there competing against you and always throwing some type of negativity or some type of challenges your way or trying to stop something that is for you because they're trying to steal it, let them have it. Because they will never get it like you can. Alright? They will never get it like you can. Let them have the fight by themselves. They only fight themselves, just fight themselves. Because you don't even know you're in a competition most times. Right? The only person you need to compete with is yourself to do better and better every day you wake up. That's it. So you gotta have confidence, you gotta commit, you gotta step out of fear, and you just gotta do it. You just gotta do it and know that whatever is within you, whatever talent that is, you have to explore it, you have to own it, you have to trust it, you have to know it, you have to study it. You have to study your craft. You can't just wake up the next one morning and say, I want to be a fashion stylist or designer. Okay, well, what you gonna do to get there? What you gonna do? Are you going to school? Are you getting a mentor? Are you looking at some type of videos or an online university and webinars? Are you asking questions? Are you actively getting involved, taking classes for yourself so you can know what to do? A lot of times people depend on social media and YouTube University, I call it. And say, oh, I got it. I'm a professional makeup artist right now. I got it. I can look at these things all day long. Listen, if you want to do a makeup on yourself in the mirror, and if nobody else, and never got paid for it, you are not a professional makeup artist. So it's about really practicing, and it's not going to be perfect the first time. It really is not going to be. You're going to have some major fails and major falls and major letdowns and major no. But you know what? I've learned the power in the word no. Let me restructure something real quick. It's okay to say no. Because as you excel, and as you do great, you're going to have a lot of people tugging at you, asking you to do certain things, asking you to do this, asking you to do that, asking you to do it for free. Okay, we're going to get into this conversation right now. Okay, asking you to do it for free. But guess what? How are you putting food in your mouth? How are you paying for gas to get there to do the talent that God gave you? How are you providing for your kids? How are you saving up for investments? How are you preparing for that business maturation plan? You're out. If you always saying yes. So you have to say no, because saying no helps you to commit. Okay? It helps you to commit. It helps you to gain the confidence you need, because I'm telling you, the first time I said no, I was like, that wasn't so hard to do. I felt good. I was like, yes, kid, go girl, go girl.
Yeah.
And it felt good to say no, because I'm stretched so much in my own personal life, and I try to do so much for others, but when I could finally say no, it gave me time to concentrate and commit to my things that I need to do for myself. If I'm not healthy, if I haven't tried to master the skills within myself, if I have not practiced, if I have not gone out there and did it, I may fell down and got bruised, but if I hadn't picked myself back up and continued to do it, and continue to study my craft, and continue to do these different things that I do, then if I hadn't done that, I would never be, who I am today, and still make goals to strive even farther, and still set goals every day. I have my whole wall in my room. It's like my own personal vision board. I have all types of, you have the little stickies. I have big old white 2x3s on my wall of my value propositions and my different businesses. I have a whole look like a map mine. I have myself, and I have my 2 kids on it, and I pull down something personal, my businesses, and my spiritual life. And under each category, I have things that come out of that I want to accomplish out of those things, and I set goals for myself. And every day I look at that, and every day I see what I'm trying to see. If I got to be the example for my kids, That's part of my why. If mama not doing it, then I cannot expect my kids to step out of their fear to accomplish it themselves. And as you do it, that command comes for your life, and that confidence comes, and you step out of fear.
So now, in order for us to command, we got to be able to have the confidence to walk in the room. That means step out of your comfort zone. Wear colors that you never wore before. You know, wear things that people didn't expect for you to wear. I like unique stuff. I like to get the media attention. I want you to look at me and figure out, well, how she pulled that off? You want to know. We'll have a conversation. Even with my hair, I learned something when me and Elfrida went to the Soul Empowerment event in Atlanta. One of the speakers, she looked at her nails the color of her brain because she's marketing. So today I use my hair for the color of my brand, black and gold and red, because I want you to know what CRPC represents. You don't always have to wear a name tag or have a business card, because sometimes you run out. But you got to be able to command what you want to get out of what you give. The confidence is important. Pizza said it best, commitment. Don't keep saying you're going to do something, and you don't do nothing, and it's just a note on the wall on a vision board. How many of you all got vision boards and ain't nothing moved off the vision board yet? I don't hear nothing, so that means I'm up here on some toes. We got vision boards. I got a question for you. When you gonna get it off the board and make it a reality? And then the kid said you got to be truthful. You may not have all the skill sets you need to get it done, but in this room, somebody in this room can help you get those things done. So now we know how to control our mindset. We know how to command what we need. Now, tell us how you create the success. What did you do, Akil, to create? What was your first gig like when you first sold your first song? Was it good? Was it bad? How did you feel in creating and going through that process?
Well, I can pick up from when I moved from New York to Jacksonville. So a little bit quick backstory. I went to college for architectural engineering, but I had to go to FAM, and FAM didn't have architectural engineering. They had architecture or engineering. So I said, which one is more so like architectural engineering? They said mechanical. That was wrong, it was civil. So I did mechanical my first year, and it was so boring because I wanted to work with people. My grandmother needed 2 knee surgeries, so I said, what can I do to help my grandma? So I went straight into physical therapy, graduated from physical therapy, and I started professionally modeling in college, and nobody knew I could sing. So when I got my job offer to go to New York 2 weeks after college, I went, just mama, I got a job offer, I'm going from Jacksonville, from Tallahassee, Jackson to New York. So I went to New York with a job offer, which started 3 weeks later, and it was a job that was 3 days a week, part-time, Tuesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday morning, and they paid us every 30, 60 to 90 days. And by the time the orthopedic surgeon got his cut, the secretary got her cut, the administrative physical therapist got her cut, and then me, I probably made about $350 every 30, 60, 90 days. I said, oh, no ma'am, I ain't going to New York for this. So it made me really explore my entrepreneurial spirit and my talents at a young age straight out of college. So I said, what I got skills in? Okay, I grew up in a hair salon. My grandma, I'm gonna go sweep some floors and work in a hair salon. So I worked in this Jewish hair salon. I had never been around Jewish people before. I learned something about money. Oh yes, you better get some Jewish friends. And then, you married one? You know about money, don't you? I'm gonna come and talk to him. Your mentor, I'm best friends. So I worked in the salon. I saw how they did business. Okay. That man, I was sweeping one day, and he said, you know what? You model, do you wanna, you should run for Miss America. I said, I brushed it to the side, I was sitting sweeping. And he said, no, for real, you should run for Miss America, I'll sponsor you. And I said, I thought he was kidding. And I said, oh, get out of here, buddy, that's his name, Buddy, get on out of here, buddy. And he was the owner of the shop. I did not know that Buddy was dead serious. So I swept. And when I stopped working there, Chris, the other boss, said, you know he was telling you the truth. So don't devalue, when people say they're gonna do something for you, don't devalue yourself, because I devalued myself. And not that I didn't think I could run from this marriage, it just was not on my, sometimes people will speak into existence something over your life that you won't even realize that's your blessing. And that's what he was doing. So I digress. Anyway, so that, and then I got into professional modeling, and then I joined a jazz, a Negro spiritual world-renowned chorale. I was the first soprano, and we ended up singing in Carnegie Hall. And that experience, I was like, wow, never thought I would be able to sing here. Well, then I joined a jazz gospel group of about 8 people and started getting paid to sing. So I'm like, oh man, I'm a professional now. I'm paid to sing, I'm a professional. Then I started getting modeling gigs, getting paid. I said, I'm a professional doing this, right? And so so then I got a little hot and fast. Let me tell you how you can be your own. Then I got pregnant, y'all, and I had to move out of Jacksonville, my family. And I chose to do that to raise my daughter because New York was too expensive, and it was not the type of environment at the time I wanted to raise my daughter. So I'm picking this story up, and your question relates to Jacksonville. I had to tell the backstory to tell you where I'm about to go with this. When I came to Jacksonville, I said, it's no way possible I can have the same opportunities and make the same amount of money as I did in New York. Right? That was my thing. So I took time off, raised my daughter, worked part-time, and I started helping people with their talent. So I started helping people behind the scene to go in the studio and helping them and writing stuff for them. Just helping other people. And then people started saying, why aren't you singing? I said, oh, I just blew something. Somebody pulled me out and started singing with some bands. The band members were very unprofessional. That's what pushed me to start doing stuff myself. So I found some sound, I scraped up some money, I started getting my little speakers. Now I didn't have this Bose system at the time. I had some 2 15s to 12 put on the speaker. I used to tote that thing. I had like 1,000 pounds in the back of my trunk. I would go around. Miss Diana seen me. She got a picture of my booty in there. I'm pushing the car. I'm looking like this. Oh, you see this? Because I'm pushing this whole cart of equipment in the main library up this little hill, and I'm trying to get it up there because I'm gonna get this stuff up there. And I'm setting all this sound. And mind you, I had guys in the band, but I was the one toting around all the sound because that's what the kid had to do in order to make the deal go. Because I got so disappointed believing in other people, right? So I got some sound, and I pushed that same sound around. I mean, you listen, y'all don't even know what I've been through with that sound. But that sound that I paid for that was a sacrifice, have made me, it has had to make me over $50,000. Easily. What I paid less than $1,000 for just to step out on faith to try to command my space. Because I had to do it because I could not wait on other people to give me the opportunity. I had to create the opportunities myself or whatever I had to do it with. Some people think you gotta just go and have the best right off the bat, right? You don't have to have the best. Start somewhere with what you got, and you build upon your whatever it is you need to build, and you reinvest in yourself. And you reinvest in your skills, and you reinvest into your equipment, you reinvest into your brand, you reinvest into whatever it is that you need to fulfill what God got for you and fulfill your purpose. So I did that. Then I was able to get my Bose system with sound, which y'all hear today, but and then it went from 1,000 pounds to maybe 100, you know. And quickly, it took me 30 minutes to set that up. Now it don't take 10 minutes to set this up, but it's quicker. And I had to release the stress on myself. But it took me to go through those things in order to, is that where
I'm just you going where I'm going to go when you talk about creating success.
Creating success,
because a lot of people think it's easy.
No, it's not.
They think it's a blueprint.
No,
they
you have
think
to create
it's, you think of it like the genie bottle. It's going to be there. No, you create that wish. So you going where I was finna go next is a lot of people, they want the finished product, but they don't want to go through the process.
That's right.
You got to go through the process. So you're going along to the next question. In creating that success, what it looked like for you. And you just talked about the process. But how do you still keep that mindset to get through it until you get to where your creativity is funding, your vision is being funded?
I'm gonna answer this real quick, and I'm gonna pass the mic down to the ladies, because I have to use my jazz dinner parties as an example to answer that question. So I could not wait any longer for people to hire me to sing anywhere. I couldn't wait. I had to create something that was either monthly or every quarter that I could do to brand myself, one, to create some type of financial gain for myself. But all my guys are married with kids and families. So I wanted to have something that I can put some money in their pockets to feed their families too. Myself and them. And that's how I started my jazz dinner parties in 2012. And listen, and my first one, I probably made 200. And then the next two, I probably lost 250. But I kept doing them to today. They're very successful, you know. But I had to do that. I had to step out on faith and create something, because I did not want to wait on people to do it for me or to call me, or I'm waiting around for a phone call to get gigs. I had to start creating it, but that stepping out on faith. And then on the flip side, I volunteered for Clara White Mission for 8 years for free, singing every first Friday of the month.
That was at the St. John's Cathedral.
Yeah, St. John's Cathedral downtown. Every first Friday of the month for 8 years. Volunteering, singing for 2 hours. Hopefully, somebody will put some money in my job. And I said, ooh, that's some gas, some peanut butter jelly money. You know, and a lot of times it was. Then I created a product. I created a promotional CD that I was selling for $5. Something, some covers, just to make a little extra. Then in 2017, finally produced my first album called Lift. I got some today too, but I finally created that. So I said, you know what? I was not doing Jazz Fest again until I had a product, okay? And that's what I did. But it's about creating, what can you use that you have, that you're skilled with, that you can have some type of product. If you have a business and you have products, do what you can with your products. Monetize off your products. Brand and advertise off your products. She had this glass that somebody told her was juvenile, or whatever you said, but she knew it wasn't, and she cried about it, but she wiped her tears and she kept going. Vanessa has books. I'm sure the first time she wrote a poem, she was probably wrote it for herself. Then they say, you know, how many books you got now? 3 or 4? She had 4 books of poetry now that she has made. Now she has a product to sell. So whatever you do, I suggest you create that lane, use your skill sets, develop something tangible where you can upsell yourself and create a product. So when people experience you, they may experience a service, but they have something they can take with them. What is the takeaway that somebody's leaving? Always think about that. What is the takeaway that you're imparting on somebody else's life?
That's good. That's good. Let's give it up for a kid. I felt like I was in church just then, y'all. But even when you've been in business, as long as you have, whether you're just starting, you've been in it for a minute, you always need to be open to learn, because someone else's struggle may be your answer to your solution. So okay, gotcha. They tell me about time. Okay, Pixie, let's get how your success was created. Then we're gonna hear Dr. Vanessa, and then we're gonna give the audience time to ask questions.
Know your business. And I'm not talking about just whether you sing or you write or you create. You have to know the ins and the outs. You have to know how to read a balance statement. Financial statements are key, because if you turn that over to somebody else, I don't care how hard you work and how much you sell, it can be gone in a split second. I mean, we hear all the time people embezzlement or make a bad investment. And I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than me. People that, mentors that, 10, 15 years older even, because they know where I am. And they've gone through that process, whether it's been a life lesson or it's been from a business perspective. So if you know inherently what you can do, right? my husband said today, he goes, why is it your office looks like a tornado hit it? I said, because I'm not getting paid to do the work. I'm getting paid to create, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do when I can is I'm gonna hire me a bookkeeper because I don't wanna do it. So if there's something you don't wanna do in your business and you're not good at it, find a friend to help you until you can pay somebody to do it. Because right now, that's where I'm at. Do what you love and do it well. And know and admit to yourself what you don't know.
That's good. All right, Dr. Vanessa, honey, where did your success created?
Well, I got forced into entrepreneurship. I spent a year and a half unemployed. I was trained to be in corporate America, and that's hell for a creator. But my mom pushed me, so you have to, work 40 years at a stable company. Stable is, that's not happening nowadays. You can be on a job one day and the next week you're gone. So you have to create, wealth for yourself. So when I was in that process of, unemployment for a year and a half, I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. One was about to go to college, private school, college, that, I didn't know how I was going to pay for that. I had 4 jobs trying to piece things together, and I was like, I'm sitting on my bed. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Just bawling, just crying. And, I just felt, the Spirit tell me, have something inside of you. And I'm like, okay, I got something inside of me. What do I have inside of my life? And then I just started writing. And then it went from writing, then I started painting. And I started to feel so good. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do this for the rest of my life. And I was like, so that's how my business started. It started creating something out of my distress, out of my depression. And it made me feel so good. I wanted to make other people feel so good. And it helped me to, even express my voice like I stated before. I started getting towels at Home Depot for 29 cents and painting them and selling those. I started creating books. I started doing paintings, and I would have a table thing. I would go to different fairs, and then I started selling. And I was like, oh, people actually buy my stuff. Oh my goodness. I felt really good about that. Not because they were buying it, but because, that something came from my heart, from my soul. And other people were appreciating it. And that's how I got into, the business that I am right now. So as far as Create Sucess, do what's in your heart. Do what's in your heart. Follow your passion. You'll find your purpose. I want to add another thing. Get a mentor. People that's doing the same thing that you admire. What you see in them, you have that inside of you too. So get with someone who's very successful in it and, do something for them. Give it to them. Hang around them. And then some of that's going to rub off on you. And then pay it forward. Once you're where you need to be, pay it forward. Give back to someone else who was in the same situation you was in.
We're going to open the floor for questions. Let's give it up for our ladies. Okay, who have questions? I need y'all to pop up like popcorn, introduce who you are, and the person you address your questions to. We got about 10 minutes to do this, so who's first?
Don't everybody jump up at once.
That means y'all covered everything there, huh? Wow! Well, I have a question. I want to say that from having the confidence and the commitment and the truth, when all that mixed together and what you do, what causes you to keep going even when you don't make no money? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they get discouraged when they're not generating the revenue they need to even cover the basic business expenses. So how do you keep going when you're not making money?
It's because of something something I love to do. Whether I make money in it or not, it's something that I really, really love to do. I don't want to do it for free, but because I love to do it and it's helped me so much, that's how it keeps me going. It's therapeutic to me. And then I started to study therapeutic arts. I'm like, oh, this is actually a thing. So I'm like, wow, this is actually a thing. And that's what I just enjoy it so much. And then when I see other people benefit from my struggle, from my pain, and I see them smile and I see them, get their voice, awaken their voice. I'm not gonna say get their voice back because they didn't leave nowhere, but awaken their voice, and they begin to, start thinking about their passions and their purpose. It makes it all worthwhile to me.
So you keep going regardless.
I keep going regardless.
All right, Ms. Casey, what about you? What keeps you going when you're not generating revenue you need?
I'm a big fan of inspirational and motivational books. And on my refrigerator, I have a couple of sayings, and one of them is, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? And it's a question I ask myself, what would I do if I knew I could not fail? And I think, Vanessa hit the nail on the head talking about passion. Because if we're passionate about what we're doing, then it doesn't matter, right? Eventually, there's plenty of books out there, Close Your Parachute and all these different ones that tell you if you follow your passion, you'll make money. Well, I think if we follow our passion, at least for myself, I have discovered things about myself and who I am and who I want to be, right? Because I figure by the time I get it all said and done and I know it, I'll be dead. So, I might as well enjoy it. But it's that if you knew you could not fail, what would you do? And if time or money weren't an issue, because a lot of times we get caught up, at least I did, I get caught up in money. How was I going to pay for this product? And then, I don't want to take out a home equity line, I want to just be able to pay for it. And then I remember when I was 25, I bought a life insurance policy, and it was like $100 a month for 10 years, and it was really a lot of money at that time. Well, you know what? I had all that cash sitting there. And I said, wow, I can borrow against that? And all I kept doing was repeating, what would I do? Time and money weren't an issue. What would I do? What would I do? And the answer was there. So you'll find the ultimate answer, but if you're doing it because you're passionate about it, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Faith and passion. When you go to my website, you'll see my little saying, my passion, your pleasure. Because that's what it is. My passion is your pleasure. And just as she said, doing it without even, I think doing it without thinking about it, like when you can do something automatically, you don't even think about it. And your passion will fuel money for other stuff actually. If you just do it, like God said, if you just do a little bit, I'm gonna take you to mine. Like you just do a little bit. Is that what he said? Is that what he said? What he said? You do your little bit, I'll do the rest. Did I say that right? A little bit? Okay. You do your little bit, and you'll do the rest. Okay, just have faith, okay? And just keep going. And but I really strongly believe in that. I think that if you do things to also with the understanding of making a way for others and creating legacy. When you die at your funeral, what people gonna say about you? So one, we have to give people the flowers while they're living. So Teresa and Startup Brian, thank y'all so much for having us today. Bless me. And also, we have to make sure that we're doing things that are flourishing and that are a true example of what humanity and loving others is all about. What can you leave as your legacy?
Legacy. That's a good question you brought up. A lot of times in entrepreneurship, we always operate in the now. We don't look at how do we want this legacy to fuel our children, our children's children. How far along do you think your vision and your passion, what y'all pursuing, is going to go? So with that question being said, what legacy have you made and set up for your children? All three of you have children, y'all have family, and I know y'all ain't gonna want to do this forever. So what legacy have you set up, and what's your exit strategy?
I have multiple streams of income. So I have, of course, physically I'm seen, but my music now is online, is being sold. So that's one, and I want to continue that. I want to get my music actually in the film and television to keep getting residuals from that type thing and keep developing there. Then I have a publication that's in Marsh Landing where the residents write the content, and I talk to different business owners to see if they're a good fit for me to introduce to the people that stay in Marsh Landing as a trusted community partner. I want to see if you can be a trusted community partner. So I call you my business partner, and they see you as a sponsor to the publication, and in return, they want to give their business directly to the people who sponsor the publication. So that's something that is kind of like residual as that's going. Now that's printing, and it's supposed to go to print in July. So that's just a disclaimer. If anybody wants to see me about that, I did have some information around. But you have to have multiple streams of income so you can develop the financial track to invest and put your own, like you don't have to work for a corporation to have a retirement plan or to put something aside or to put something somewhere so it can grow. You can develop that yourself. As you do stuff, put $100 to the side and keep it in there. You put it in a mutual fund, or you put it, in a SEP account, or you put it in a Roth IRA that's high at $40,000 or $53,000 that they can't see, and then you do other stuff with it to make it grow. Put it in the stock market. You could make your own wealth line without necessarily being, in corporate America or knowing, or not having that financial track. You think you're gonna put it on the bank and that's gonna grow. It's not, or savings, it's not gonna happen like that. So, but like I say, multiple streams of income, doing what you do, and that will allow you to have your financial wealth.
Ms. P, so what legacy have you set? Are you set?
Well, I don't have children, but I think the important thing for the glass work is, how many of you watch American Pickers? Anybody watch off History Channel, right? Mike and Frank love it. So I want them to be going, these pickers from like 50 years from now, going through barn finds, and somebody runs across a vase, and they go, oh, I think that's pixie glass. Right? Of course, glass might not survive. But multiple streams of income is definitely important. And don't push the river, right? And what I mean by that is, I'm going to do this because she did that, and that's going to be a good thing. And you're really not quite there, but you think it's going to work, and maybe not. And you really have it. You just make it happen. If it happens organically, which is what happened with my glass and with my clothing, then I know it's meant to be. And again, just asking yourself questions. So, from a legacy standpoint, I think of my nieces and nephews that will, get tons and tons of glass that are painted and stuck somewhere, and they'll probably look at it and go, holy cow, I don't know what we're going to do with this. Maybe they'll recycle it. But in the end, I won't be here, so it doesn't really matter. As long as people enjoy it while I'm alive to see the smiles that puts on their face, then I'm happy with that.
Awesome. Great insight. Nieces and nephews. So what are you going to leave legacy for your daughters?
Well, to support their passion. When I discovered the gifts and talents of my daughters when they were babies, I supported that. I put them in environments that supported that. I, paid money to enhance their own craft. And when they see me following my dream, like I said before, it gives them permission to follow theirs. I didn't want to stifle them because I was stifled. I was put in a certain direction that was not me. It didn't fit me. It was uncomfortable, and I didn't want to do that to my girls. So when I discovered what their gifts was, when they started coloring pages, and I was like, oh, that looks nice. Encouraging them, do that again. Find things that will enhance their gifting. I always got them something for Christmas that was spiritual, educational, and then the third was what they wanted. So I wanted to encourage them to do all that was in their heart to do. So now my oldest daughter, because she has such this artistic gift, I mean, I gave her an iPad one day and she spent like a couple hours on it, and what she came up with, now she has scholarships at Savannah College of Art and Design. She is a double major in animation and illustration. She's a sophomore and she is 17 years old. So, thank you. So, because I supported her and encouraged that gift in her, and she thought she would never get paid, you know, doing artwork, because that's what the environment I was in told her. I was like, no, you can do whatever you want to do. And me as your mom, I'm gonna make sure you're gonna do what you want to do. And now I'm pushing her to do that, and I'm just so proud of her. The youngest one too, she's a dynamic writer, and her imagination is just off the charts. I'm like, okay, I think you need to write a book. You know, so we're working on her writing a book. And on another end, she likes to make slime. I said, okay, well, we can monetize that because it's a sensory tool. It's stress relieving, so you don't have a slime business. And so I'm instilling entrepreneurship in my own girls and showing them how to do it, because that wasn't shown to me. I don't want them to work for anybody. I don't want them to be a slave to a clock or have the walls closing in on, because that's how I feel when I go to work sometimes. You know, the walls are broken because this is not my passion. My passion is empowering people, you know, helping them unleash their voice. That's what I want to do. So I really don't have an exit strategy. This business that I'm trying to start, you know, I'm still in the beginning stages of it. That is my exit strategy, for me to have an art studio, to me to be on, you know, somebody beach, you know, helping people follow their passion.
That's good. That's good. Let's give it up for our speakers. Let me give away some prizes. We got our tickets. Our guest speakers have some items they want to give away. Our first raffle is to, let's see if I get this right, Jacqueline Jones. Come get your gift. Dr. Vanessa, be the first one to give away one of their gifts.
Okay. I'm gonna let you pick. I have my devotional, Grace Jim's devotional. I have a poetry book, in essence, poems from a Christ and Soul. And I have my 4 Seasons coasters. That's alcohol game coasters. I have 20% off a painting party. And I have 20% off local creation.
Alright, let's give it up for Jacqueline. Alright, our next raffle giveaway by Miss Pixie would be Mary Lee Connell. Track Communications.
So we have a hand-painted vase or a scarf.
Show everybody that beautiful vase, Mary. I'm jealous. Alright, Akia Uwanda, next giveaway. Raffle ticket holder, Nicole Young. Tutti Frutti.
Tutti Frutti. Down the price is right. Well, you have one of my CDs to download on whatever type of technology you would like to download the CD on.
Awesome. Our next raffle person is Joe Johnson. Alright, come up to Dr. Vanessa. She got her journal, she got 20% off on a paint party, 20% off of creating the logo, and she got some custom coasters for you to choose from. She wants the paint party. Y'all, her paint parties are fun. If you haven't been, you ought to go. Alright, Miss Pixie. Raffle prize winner, Henrietta. No last name, but hi, Miss Henrietta. Whoa, she get one of Miss Pixie's scarves. Awesome. Alright. Next prize, Akia Yawanda, Carly King. Oh! Carly King, we met her
You get a CD as well that you can download on any of your iPhone, your whatever you got to play some music. You can download that CD lift. Then he wanted to
all right, and I'm gonna say we got a couple more. If you didn't get your ticket, raffle ticket, then you do. But StartUp Grind Jacksonville chapter just want to show our appreciation by giving you this gift. Being our guest, one of our team members, Enchantra Davis, she made these beautiful gifts, and she is Be Enchanting Gifts. She does amazing gift baskets. So if you haven't followed her on Instagram or social media, y'all need to check her out. She does some amazing things. So now we're gonna network. Y'all get to collaborate.